Welcome back, everybody. Tom Olson here with the 30 Days to Good Success, and I am going to kind of get into a section here with this 30-day challenge that is really going to be some personal growth. I hope you guys are ready for it. It is going to be probably a little challenging, so I'm just going to warn you about that a little bit. It is going to be maybe hard to be truthful and honest, and it's probably going to take some thought, and it might have you facing things that you maybe you've gotten into this workbook not necessarily realizing that this is where we're going to go with this, but I do this on purpose because back to the original intent of why I created this whole book in the first place was to help me mentor students and to help me know enough about them to be able to give them good advice, to be able to know enough about their problems, know enough about their strengths and their weaknesses, know enough about their experience, and kind of know what they're all about. I think way far too often people give advice just kind of based on surface issues, and they don't really get deep enough to be able to help somebody really achieve financial success, achieve good success, achieve the right kind of success, because the right kind of success is really different for every single person. And this is going to be a question that everybody should have probably a different answer. I think there are some similarities with some people with that, but so we're going to get right into it. So question number 20 is going to be, what do you fear? Yes, I asked the question. I know we've been talking about money. We've been talking about goals. We've been talking about what do you want in a life. But I think some self-reflection questions are very good to know about somebody. So I think you knowing this about yourself and maybe a mentor or maybe somebody that you're talking to or trying to get help from or trying to just be a community of people that you encourage. I think asking this question is very important. And I'll tell you why. I think all of our purposes, it doesn't matter who it is, it doesn't matter if it's you, it doesn't matter if it's me, all of us have a purpose. And I believe that purpose is to love somebody. And I don't believe that purpose is to love ourselves. And so I believe that we were all created to be a conduit. We were all created to say, hey, I will take what somebody's been given on one side. What does a conduit do? It takes on one side and it gives out on the other side. We weren't created to be buckets where we just kind of take on a bunch of stuff and we're stagnant. We were created to reflect, or we were created to be able to work right here, work to have to give. That's what we were created for, right here on my shirt. So, this question of what do you fear, I think is, I believe there's three things that keep us from being that conduit. If our purpose is truly to love somebody and to, work with our hands, the thing which is good so we can have to give to those in need. If that's what our real purpose is, and everybody was created for that, then what keeps us from being a conduit and what keeps us is if you have a pipe, you could put caps on the outside of them, right? And if you tip it up, you could actually fill it up and it kind of turns into a bucket. Or you could be so proudful and you can be so arrogant that you think you know it all and you're not even willing to accept on the front end of the bucket. I mean, the front end of the conduit. And what I believe those caps are, what I believe actually keeps us from being a conduit, those caps, I believe, are fear, pride, or laziness. And I think every one of us, and myself included, we have to push down this pride. We have to push down fear and try to get it out away from us. And then we've got to push down laziness, because every one of us has a tendency to just not want to just kind of relax and be comfortable, and we worship comfort. So again, this question comes from that mindset and from that heart. I think once you've identified the things that you fear, I think it's much easier to face them. I think a lot of times we fear, we worry, and we get ourselves into ruts, and we listen to these fears over and over and over again. We listen to the negative self-talk. We listen to different people criticizing other people, and we just think it automatically is about us. The other thing that I see a lot and this is fearing what's not even there. That I see that far too often, and it's even a verse in the Bible that talks about there's a lion in the street, and the person fears the lion, but the lion's not even there. It's all it is in our head, and to us it's reality, but in reality it's not. And a lot of fear is based out of things that we shouldn't even fear, because there's nothing really to fear other than fear itself when it comes to those things. Now, this is not the fear of the Lord, and that's a whole different thing. And I actually believe that's a respect, and that's something that we should have. So I'm not gonna go there, but I think it's very essential. So it kind of this last part of the chapter here. Warning, I said, got harsh truth ahead. If you fear failure, and most of you do. So that's the one thing I think that holds a lot of people back, is the fear of failure. We are not a conduit because we're fearing that we're going to fail. And we're too lazy to just get up and try. Or we have so much pride that we think we know it all, that we're not willing to let that love of God and let everything that He's created us to be, and all of that, the goodness that we were created to be, flow through us, because we've got that fear or pride or laziness. So if you fear failure, and most of you do, is it a combination of pride and laziness, and it makes us this way? Give over your pride so that you can stop fearing what others will think of you, and just stop thinking about that. And the other thing I would suggest before we leave is you know what? We're all going to fail. Failing is what helps us succeed down the road. Every failure that you go through in life is a stepping stone, and is the next step to be able to figure out what that future success is. I believe that with all my heart, and I believe that we should fail forward. We should use all these experiences and things that we didn't necessarily succeed in our life to be able to push us forward on a path to success. So I hope this helps you today. I'm going to kind of go through this last page, as far, on the page 114 of the actual questions, so you can fill those things out. But questioning what you fear, asking yourself, does it really even matter? Does it really even exist? Is this just something I'm telling myself? Is this something that, is not even reality? And then and then if it is fearing failure, or if it is fearing something that could happen, worry is wasted energy. And that's just one thing that I've heard throughout the years that I really like to go back to. But worry is absolutely wasted energy. You are not going to solve a problem by worrying. Nothing's going to happen by worrying. It's just waste. So stop wasting time and stop wasting that energy, and just go. Just make it happen. Face those fears. Be courageous today, because you matter. Be courageous today because you were created for a purpose. Be courageous today because what if you could? What if you did succeed? Let me ask you this question. What would you do today if you knew you would succeed? If you knew that there was no possible way you could fail, what would you do today? Again, the last page says, what do you fear? It gives you a couple lines. I mean, maybe you fear a couple things. Maybe you fear what people will say. And honestly, maybe that might just come from our position. Our positioning is very important. If we don't think that we matter, if we don't think that God created us in His image and that we have a purpose on this earth, then hey, we're going to fear everything. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're just going to, let everything go and not live a life of purpose. But if you say, hey, I was created for a purpose, I need to make sure nobody else on this earth can do what I can do, then fear starts to dissipate, and you start thinking to yourself, you know what? I know that that's a fear of mine, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to walk through that course. I'm going to walk right through you, fear. And courage isn't courage if there's no fear. You know, if everything was easy, everybody would do it. But if there's no fear, then you really can't have courage. So you have to have fear in order to have courage. You have to not necessarily think you're just automatically going to make it happen. So push it down. Just like we have to push down pride, we've got to push down fear, and we've got to find a way to grab that courage that's been put inside of us. We were wonderfully and beautifully created, and we have many things that I think we need to accomplish. And I think fear is something that keeps us from our purpose and keeps us from being a conduit of God's love and God's grace and blessings. So if you had no fear, what would you do? What decisions did you make today because you were worried about something? These are just kind of some things to get you thinking about what do you fear, why do you fear that, and is it really something that you should be worried about? The fear factor tracker. Are you afraid of ridicule? Are you afraid of what other people think, or are you really concerned about why you were created? And then the last one is the fear factor tracker. Which is worry. You know, I'll raise my hand and I say I probably spend way too much time worrying. I think sometimes we call it thinking, but a lot of times it's just worry. It's just wasted energy, and we could be spending so much more of that time that we're spending worrying, focused on other people, or focused on building financial freedom, or focused on our purpose. So again, what are you afraid of? Write it down, know what it is, and then face it. Make it happen today. You matter. God created you for a reason. I believe that. I hope you believe that. Know your identity in Him. Have a purpose. Live life on purpose for a purpose. And don't let fear keep you from being a conduit. So that's going to do it for today. So that was question number 20. I can't wait to see you tomorrow for question number 21. I hope you've been enjoying this. I know today was a tough one, and I know that we all, though, have to face our fears every day. So have fun, face your fears today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good success day.